Happy holidays. Thank you for joining us here on Rainbow Kids Corner. Before I began my presentation of this beautiful Bible story, or actually it's a bedtime story, we have two new guests. We got three, but we got two that you have never met on this show before. And their names are, give us your name, sweetheart.
Tanasia Jenkins.
Tanasia
Jenkins,
okay, and
Jordan Holloway.
And Jordan Holloway. Thank the two of you for joining us today. And we're not going to leave out Miss Deborah. She's a regular around here by now. I'm sure you all have seen her on other shows here at Rainbow Kids. Deborah Johnson. She spells her name the same way I spell mine, but she has a hyphen over one of those alphabets. Therefore, it makes it Deborah and not Deborah. Mine is Deborah with no hyphen, okay? What I want to share with you all is taken from Bedtime Story, Uncle Arthur Bedtime Story, and this is volume 1. It comes in a set of 5 volumes. This particular story is entitled Nellie's Wish. You know, I've shared this story before, kind of ad-lib, so to speak, a while back. I chose it today because it is what? It is the holiday time, okay? And so that's why I chose this particular story dealing with Nellie's Wish. And once I get into it, you all will see exactly what Nellie's Wish is all about and why I chose this story. It's really touching to me. Okay, Nellie's Wish. School was over, vacation time had begun. Everybody was looking forward to Christmas Day. How slowly the days seemed to pass. It seemed as if Christmas would never come. Does it seem that way to you all too?
No.
It didn't? It did to me when I was a little girl. I was so anxious to, peep and see, trying to see what my Christmas gift gonna be for Christmas. Yes. Outdoors, it was too cold to play, and indoors, there seemed nothing to do without forever getting in Mother's way. Oh, what can we do, said Nellie to her sister Elsie. Let's write that letter to Santa Claus we were going to send to him. If you want to, said Nellie. But do you know, I believe that Santa Claus is Daddy dressed up. Yeah, do you? Yes. This is what she said. This how she came to this conclusion. She said this. Last Christmas, I kept one eye open till someone came into my room to fill my stocking. And I'm sure it was Daddy in his dressing gown. But let's write the letter anyway, urged little Elsie. Oh yes, that would be fun, won't it? What shall we ask him to send us? Let's get some paper and a pencil first, so we won't forget anything. You know what? I have to use a lot of pencil and paper and write down things so I won't forget. Because sometimes I go to the supermarket to pick up maybe a couple apples and maybe even a bottle of oil. And I get home, wow, and I end up with 3 bags of groceries and no oil.
What?
Yes, that's correct. So now I have to write those things down. Wow. I'll run and get some, said Nellie, and off she went, coming back in a few minutes with enough paper for a long letter. Ooh. Since Elsie had just learned to write, it was agreed that she would write the letter, while Nellie sat by to tell her how to spell the words. Before you begin, let's try to think of what we would like the most, said Nellie. So they talked the matter over very seriously and decided that they wanted a large numbers of things. That's just like the children. Elsie was sure she needed a box of paint, a baby doll, a doll buggy, a ball, lots of candy, oranges and apples, and a music box. Woo! That's a big order. Nellie had bigger ideas. She wanted a scooter, some good books with pictures in them, a big box of chocolate, yes, and above all things, a doll that could talk and walk and move her eyes. Like Deborah's moving hers right now. They got great ideas on it. A lot of stuff.
Spill the money on the daddy.
I really don't think he will be able to carry them all, said Nellie. Oh, I do, said Elsie. He has a big bag. Yes, and there is no harm in putting them all down. So they did. With much care, little Elsie wrote the letter, underlining all the things they wanted the most. At least the letter was finished and ready to be placed in an envelope. Nellie read it over all the way to Dear Santa Claus, down to hoping to see you soon. Then she gave a little sigh and put it on the table. Why? What's the matter? She was kind of sad.
What?
She was kind of sad. Why? This is what her sister asked. She said, why? What's the matter? Asked Elsie. Nellie was silent for a moment. Then she said, I think that this is rather a selfish letter. A selfish letter. Why? Why are you saying this is a selfish letter? Because we have asked things only for ourselves. There is not one thing for anyone else. That's right. We had. What had we better do? Got to do better. Can't be selfish, right? Okay. Must we write it all over again? Oh no, that would take too long. Why not just add a postscript? What's that? What's a postscript? You don't know. Let me tell you. She said, just a few words at the bottom. All right. What shall we say? I would like to see some of the poor children at school get some nice things like those we have asked Santa Claus to send us. So would I. There's Kitty Gordon, said Nellie. She's such a nice girl, but her mother is so poor that I don't suppose she would get anything for Christmas at all. Or if she gets something, it won't be worth much. That's sad, isn't it? Won't she really? That's what her sister asked her. She said, I don't suppose so. Then let's ask for something nice for her. I'm sure she'd like a pretty doll too. Yes, said Nellie. Put that down. Then the letter will be all right, I think. So Elsie carefully added the words, please see that Kitty Gordon gets a beautiful doll. Then they folded the letter, put it in an envelope, stuck an old stamp on it, and handed it to Mother, asking her to see that it was mailed. Christmas morning came, and with all of the glorious fun of emptying stockings and examining the present that were piled up underneath the tree, Nellie and Elsie were so happy as children could be, shrieking with delight as each package was opened and they found something for which they had asked in their letter. Of course, they did not get all of the things that they requested, but enough to make them feel sure that Santa had read their message, okay? But there was one thing wrong, at least as far as Nellie was concerned. She did not say anything about it till she had opened all her packages. Then she began to look just a little bit worried. She turned all the tissue paper over and over again and looked under the bed, even in the closet, but in vain. The thing she wanted most of all was not there. "What's the matter, Nellie?" asked Elsie. "Haven't you gotten enough things?" "Oh, Elsie," said Nellie, "I know I have some lovely things, but it isn't here." "What do you mean?" "Oh, I did so want a baby doll that says Mama. Maybe he took one to Kitty Gordon, the poor little girl, instead." "Maybe so," said Nellie, "but I didn't really mean him to do that, because she wanted that doll for herself, okay?" And on that note, what we're going to do, we are going to take a break and we're going to come back and finish this story, okay? Because it has a beautiful ending, okay? So now you know what it's time for us to do? Break. It's time to take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us here on Rainbow Kids Corner. Prior to going to the break, I was sharing with you this beautiful story entitled Nellie's Wish. And Nellie, this particular story is about this girl, well, two sisters, Nellie and Elsie, how they was basically well-to-do and received plenty of Christmas gifts, whereas this poor little girl in the neighborhood by the name of Kitty Gordon, they knew that she would not receive anything. If she received anything, as one of the little girls said, it won't be worth much, okay? So I'm going to resume the story. Okay, hardly had she said it when she realized how really mean it was. She had all these beautiful things and she wondered whether Kitty had anything. All day she felt unhappy about it. And in the midst of the play, while she was playing with her new toys, she kept thinking, should I have taken Kitty some of my things? In the evening, Nellie and Elsie went to a party that was being given by the woman next door. There were several other little girls there, and they had a fine time together. After refreshments, and what good food it was, they all went into another room where there was a beautiful Christmas tree covered with a pretty shiny decoration and little colored lights. It made me think about those lights here on the table, okay? It was a very thrilling sight. But the thing that took Nellie's attention most was the beautiful doll as it lay amongst all the other gifts placed beneath the tree. Her heart beat fast as she thought that perhaps now her great wish was to be granted. They played all kinds of games around the tree, and at last the presents were distributed. Only one thought was in Nellie's mind. Do you know what that was? What?
The present.
Yeah, the present. Yeah, but what present?
The doll.
The doll. Who was going to get the doll? That's what was on Nellie's mind, like you said. Impatiently, she waited and waited while every other child received a gift. Now, there was just one present left beside the tree. It was the doll. This, said the woman, is for who?
Nellie.
Nellie. Okay? Nellie said, all the children, for they saw that she had nothing from the tree so far. So they knew that it belonged to Nellie. Nellie blushed and jumped up from her seat. Taking the doll from the woman, she hugged it tightly to herself. Then a strange thing happened. Nellie was walking back to her seat when suddenly she pointed to the window and cried, "Oh, look! Guess what she saw at the window?" What? Kelly, Kitty Gordon. Kitty Gordon was, let me show you the picture of Kitty Gordon. That's a picture of Kitty right here. That's that picture of Kitty. She's a pretty girl too, isn't she? Even though she's poor, but she's still pretty. Okay. And Nellie saw her looking in on them. Okay. Now, let's see what she's going to do. Everybody looked, but there was nothing to be seen. The shades were up, but outside all was dark and still. "What is it? What was it?" cried all the children. It was poor little Kitty Gordon. She was looking in at the window, and I'm sure she was crying. "Oh, I must go to find her." Without another word, Nellie rushed to the front door and ran out, not even waiting to put on her coat. Far down the street, under a light, Nellie thought she saw a little figure. "Kitty," she cried, "Kitty, come here." But Kitty went on, and Nellie had to run the whole length of the block before she caught up with her little friends. Her little friend. "Oh, Kitty," she panted. She was tired. "Oh, Kitty, I brought you something. Please, do stop and take it." Kitty stood there in the street looking in amazement at the wonderful thing she held in her arms. It was a doll that could shut its eyes and say, "Mama." Isn't that the same doll that Nellie wanted? That's what she wrote on that list. She wanted a doll that would close her eyes and open her eyes and say, "Mama." And now, what's Nellie doing? What's she doing with that beautiful
Give it to
doll?
her friend.
She's giving it to her friend.
Maybe a helpful.
Yes, why? Why? Why?
Because she was poor.
Because she was poor. That was so unselfish of Nellie, wasn't it? For me, Kitty said. "Yes, yes, for you," said Nellie. "I want you to have it most of all." Then she turned and ran back to the house, feeling happier than she had ever felt before. I'm a big crybaby. That night, before she went to sleep, She remembered the note she had added to her letter to Santa Claus. And she was thankful that she had helped to answer that request. That was very, very, very unselfish of her, wasn't it? She gave her best. This was a special request that she had made on behalf of this special doll. And once she received it, she gave it away. Would you all have done that? I would have too. Let me tell you something. There is somebody that I know that gave their very best. Their very best. Do you all have any idea who I'm talking about? Let me tell you who. Let me tell you. This person loves us so much. He gave up his only begotten God. His only begotten Son. That's right. God gave up his very best when he gave Jesus up for us. We're not worthy, but he loves us so much, he gave it all. And on that note, we are going to take a break while I dry these tears. I knew it would have taken a miracle for me to make it through this story without tear jerking. Okay? It's so touching. Okay, so on that note, we are going to do what?
Breaker.
We're going to take a break while I dry my eyes. Thank you for joining us here on Rainbow Kidz Corner. And what we're going to share with you is entitled Know Your Body Parts. I chose this particular one because of, what's this right here?
Snowman.
Snowman. It's a picture of a snowman. Why did I choose a snowman? No, I don't want it to snow. I really don't want it to snow. Okay, Deborah.
Because it's almost Christmas.
Because it's almost Christmas. But we ain't gonna let it snow. But God might make it snow. Okay.
I love snow. We'll make snowballs.
You need snow for what?
Snowballs.
Snowballs.
Like
Okay. Well, I'll make sure that I have some pinto beans at home because anytime it snows, I like cooking pinto beans and making some good old chili. Yeah, Deborah. That's right. Okay, so let's go on with our little project here. Okay, know your body parts. Arms, belly, elbow, head, knees, legs, shoulder, and toes. Okay? And what you're all going to do, the thing you will do, you will find it on here and you can just draw a line. Okay? All right. And don't rock in the chair, sweetie. Okay. And let me ask you something. Does all of us need arms?
Yes.
Even though we can't live without arms, but it's good to have both of our arms. I almost lost mine years ago when I was 4 years old. Got caught in a ring tight washing machine and broke. The doctor wanted to take it off, but my mom said, no. Thank God. All of us need a belly or stomach or abdomen. Some of our bellies are bigger than others. But we need a belly to put what? Store our food. What about elbow? You know how you fall sometime and you land on that elbow? Oh, it hurt. But I'd rather land on that elbow because it's hard, that bone in there, than to land
safely.
On let's say on my fingers If I land on my fingers, then more than likely they would end up being broken, because fingers, this is what I call them gristle. They're bones, but they're little thin bones inside. Okay. We gotta have a head.
Oh yeah, I can see.
We gotta have a head. We can't do without arm, elbow. I don't know about belly. There are a few people that might have had some type of surgery or might have been born, you know.
I got surgery.
Okay, but you didn't have your belly removed.
No.
Okay.
I just got
Now, we all gotta have a head.
Yes. I can see
Some
that.
of us got big heads.
Oh.
And I'm not talking, you know, now when I say big head, I'm not talking about big head because your head is made big. What I'm talking about is what?
Big brains.
I ain't talking about no big brain. I'm talking about
We
some
need a
people got
brain.
big head because they got big ego. They got ego problems. They think they suck. They think they're
big
better
brain.
than you, and
Got
you, and
big
you, and me
brain.
too.
Not me. They got big brains.
But all of us are equal at the foot of the cross. Okay, and knees, we need knees, don't we?
Yes.
My niece, one of my nieces, her knees were aching. Y'all finished?
No.
Her knees were aching last week. Okay?
I can't
She
find
said
the
that.
word elbow.
Elbow? I can find it. She said that she needed to lose some weight. Okay.
Where?
Legs? Do we need legs? Okay. Okay. Even though there are some people that don't have any legs because their legs has been amputated, you know, but we need legs. Shoulders. Shoulders. We need shoulders, don't we?
Shoulder, knees, and toes. Head, shoulder, knees, and toes.
Knees and toes. Head, head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, knees and toes. Keep singing the song. I love this song. Hold up, baby. I love that song. I have something special for the three of you. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! On the back, it shows the different types of artwork that's inside. You like it?
Yes.
And all three of yours are the same, so nobody have an opportunity to say, Miss Gant liked me better because she gave me a better present. No, all three are the same. Okay? And we are going to end this show with Silent Night.
Woohoo!
Come on, let's sing Silent Night.
Oh, yay!
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin mother and child, holy infant so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.